I'm really having to stand way far back here because this sucker is big. This is my take on the popular Thomas Kinkade Snowman Wreath swag doohickey that's been floating around on social media. I've used some items from Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Walmart. As you can see here, there's his little flickering lantern and his mittens, which match his hat, and his cheeks light up. He has a big red sparkly bow, and I don't know if you can, well, yeah, you can kind of tell. The whole wreath has fairy lights all over it. So, just hang tight and I will show you how to make it. Alright y'all, let us get started. So first off, what you're going to need, you're going to need 4 of these little miniature Christmas trees that come from the Dollar Tree. And here is the box. I had it laying on the floor. This is their Christmas trees. They're famous little miniature Christmas trees. And then you're also going to need something with which to build a snowman. So I got this little snowman ornament the other day at Dollar General and it lights up. It's so cute! So I got that, and then I got this 3-pack of mitten ornaments also from Dollar General. You get 3 for $3, and this is what they look like. I'm going to have to trim some of this off and glue that down. But it's kind of like got some hard plastic in there. Yes, most of these look really good. Actually, I grabbed a few packs. Most of them look good. This one's kind of raggedy, so not a good example, but... There, that one looks good. But, and I do know, before the comments come, it's not in proportion. I know that the hands are a little bit bigger than what they should be for this head. But you know what? It's okay. Because this is a budget version. And it's going in my house. It don't matter. It'll be alright. Anyway, what I'm going to do with these little trees is I'm fluffing them out. And then making them flat on the back. As flat as possible. And then I'm going to fasten them together. Now you can do that with zip ties, or you can do that with some green floral wire, or I'm going to be using some green pipe cleaners, okay? That way it's going to blend in a lot better, and you don't have to worry so much if you don't have enough decorations to really cover it up. So as you see here, like where the branches, why are you here? Well, the branches start here, and then the branches start here. I'm just going to overlap them until the branches come together like that. And then I'm just going to take this pipe cleaner and I'm going to put that there. You know what? No, I'm not going to cut this. Should I cut it in half? I think I'm going to cut it in half. Because I don't have that many green pipe cleaners over there. I really don't. Oh, come on. There we go. So bend that a little bit. And then I'm just going to wrap that right here. Now, ultimately, I'm going to put 2 more together here. Let's kind of flip that over and just twisty real good. Really tight. You really want to tighten this down. And I'm going to be using 4 trees. Or I'm going to try to use 4 trees because as you can see, these are a little straggly on their own. So I'm just trying to make it look a little more full by using 4. All right, so let's get the branches out of the way. And then I'm just going to wrap this around. Tighten it down. Really tighten it down. All right, I'm going to trim this off here in a minute. But anyway, that gives us this sort of swag type shape. Now the ends here are really long, so I think I'm going to trim those off. I don't want to leave them that long. But anyway, we have this swag shape. So now I'm going to get the other 2, and I'm going to fasten them together just like I did this. And then we're going to put them side by side and fasten them together. Or I'm going to try to anyway. So let me work on this for a second, and we'll come back. Okay, so I have these 2 trees fastened together now, and here are these 2 trees. Oh, crap. You know what? I meant to trim off the ends, and I didn't do it. I got to sweep in here when I'm done anyway, so yeah, I'm throwing these in the floor. Okay, so let's lay these down. This is the back, and let's see. Yeah, this is the back of the other one. So I'm just going to lay them down side by side. And all these little branches that are in the center, I'm just going to bend them straight up so that we can get the trees close enough together to fasten them together. You see what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? All right. Now I'm just going to put them together like this. And then we can go back, we can fluff out all the little branches, and it's going to look a lot more full and a heck of a lot better. So now I'm going to use these pipe cleaners. I don't think I'm going to cut them in half. But let's see where the two trees come together. All right, where's the end? I've lost my end. And I'm just going to wrap these around and tighten it up in the back. And now we have made a pretty full looking swag here. I think it's pretty full looking. I really want to twist that together really, really well. All right, now let's put another one. This is very sturdy. It feels very, very sturdy. This is not going to come apart. Let's put another one up in here somewhere if I can find. Okay, I can feel them. Okay, I want to say like right in here. And this is easier to see and do when you have it right there in front of you than it is watching me do it on camera, I'm sure. So, you know, once you get it in your own house and you're working on it, it'll be all right. Let's get the branches out of the way. All right, so basically you just tied 2 trees together at their ends and then put them together side by side. And then what I'm going to do is go back and I'm going to fluff it all up and make sure that the back is flat, like I mentioned earlier. Okay, so I'm going to put another pipe cleaner down here to hold this end. So we have it here on this end and on this end. And then I'm going to fluff it up and then we'll decorate it. All right, so my trees are fastened together and they're looking pretty good. It's going to be real hard to tell exactly what this is going to look like, you know, until you put all your decorations on and you just really start fiddling with it. But what I'm doing here is losing my scissors. I can use these. I swear, if my life depended on me having my scissors within reach at all times, I wouldn't be here. All right. So I just cut that little string off the top and I cut the tab off. Now the thing is, you don't want to really glue this down or fasten this part down because you want to be able to get your finger back there to turn it on and off. So I'm just going to be fastening the hat. So let's just kind of place this. It kind of fits really well right in there. Now I have a lot of decorations that I'm going to put on this and I know there's going to be several steps, okay? So bear with me. But anyway, there he is. And now I have his little mittens, and I'm trying to figure out how I want to attach these. Because these, like I said, they're hard in the center. And I can't really glue anything. Well, I guess I could glue something to the inside. You're not going to see it. So I think I might just glue some pipe cleaners. I'm going to trim this fuzzy stuff here. I'm just thinking out loud. Trim this fuzzy stuff here, and then I can use pipe cleaners to put them on the side. Something like this. And then lean them in. Of course, I want a bow. I want room to put a bow, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. And now I have this little lantern. I lost my lantern. This lantern came from Walmart. It was $2.99, I believe. $2.98. And this is a fairly good size lantern because I wanted this to be sort of like the focal point. And then I got these little flameless LED votives also from Walmart. This was like $8 for a pack because I wanted something bigger than the Dollar Tree, you know, the flameless tea lights that they have. Now this lamp is fairly heavy. So what I'm going to have to do is, and I think I'm going to have to play around with this for a little bit, okay? Okay, I can fasten the mittens down and then bring them into in between right there. And then glue the mittens together so that they'll hold together and then the lantern can hang down. I'm also going to take some floral wire and run through here if I can. Yeah, if I can, run it through there and then fasten it to the swag. So anyway, I know this is probably confusing and I apologize, but here's some green floral wire. And I'm going to get me a big old piece here. And what I want to do for the head is I want to run this, because this stuff is fairly sharp. Let's run this through his hat. If I can. I may have to, there we go. We'll run this through the hat if I can find, because this stuff bends so easily. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a needle. I'm going to get a needle and I'm going to thread the wire through the needle and then run it through the back of his hat. Hold on. I have my wire and I just threaded it through a yarn needle and now I'm just pulling it through like that. There we go. Oh gosh, now it's got hold of my needle and it ain't wanting to let go. Stop it. Good Lord, about as clingy as my ex-husband. All right, so let's get this out of the way. And I'm going to move the little mittens. Now see how that's just threaded through the back of his hat there? Now I'm going to fasten that down, and that way you can move the head and get your hand behind there to turn his cheeks on. Turn the lights on his cheeks. So let's say, what do y'all think? About right there looks good. Yep. So let's wrap this around. Make sure we're not trapping any branches here. I'm just going to tighten that down. Good Lord, did I cut a long enough piece of wire? This thing's huge. All right. And this wire is pretty sturdy. I meant to take my Fitbit off too. It keeps lighting up. Okay. So now, let's get that into position. I'll be better to get everything into position once I get everything on. So now, the little head, see how sturdy that is? You can still get your hand back there. Okay, so there's that. So now, I got to figure out the mittens. Like I said, I believe I'm going to trim this fuzzy stuff down and glue on a pipe cleaner. That's what I'm going to do. So let me work on this for a second. Okay, so what I did on the mittens is, see, I just trimmed some of that fuzzy stuff down. Make sure, you do the right side. This one here and this one here, so that when you put them on, the thumbs are gonna be in the right position, okay? Now this red bow, where did the package go? I've got so much stuff going on in here, y'all. Oh, right here. This is a decorative bow from Dollar Tree. They come in a 2-pack. They have big ones and small ones. This is the smaller one. And what I did is, the tie that it comes on was not very long. So I just took it off, and then I ran a pipe cleaner through the back. And then I want to put this bow right under his little neck. And I'm trying to wrap it around the actual base of the tree. And be careful when you're doing this so that, you don't capture all of your little branches and stuff underneath it. So let's see. I don't want to put this on real tight. All right. I'm a-twisting. I don't want it to be real tight because I don't want it to like sink down into the thing. Aha, here we go. Now, what I'm thinking about doing for the mittens is I have one more green pipe cleaner. Do I have? I have 2 green pipe cleaners. I lied. 2 green pipe cleaners. Okay, now what I want to do is I'm going to wrap this pipe cleaner completely around really tightly around the trees and then bring the ends up. And then I'm going to glue the mittens to those pipe cleaners, okay? So I'm trying to figure out, I think right over here. Oh my gosh, I hate that feeling, all these little branches are like bumping up against your hands. I absolutely hate that. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it up like this. Now the branches and everything is really going to help to hold things in place, okay? It's not like the mittens are just going to be hanging there. So I'm tightening that down. That is really tight. Okay, because I want to have enough to glue the mittens to, okay? And see, I should have waited on that bow. But can you see this here? How I just tied that pipe cleaner around it? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put hot glue just right here, and then I'm going to stick the pipe cleaner down onto it like this. And just hold that. Yeah, I should have waited on that darn bow. But I was trying to see how everything was going to look. All right, so I'm just going to hold that in place, and I'm going to let the glue cool down, and I'm going to do the same thing to the other mitten, okay? Just let it cool down. Should have used low temp, but I'm out of low temp sticks. A lot of shoulda, coulda, wouldas, right? It's all right. It don't matter. All right, so I'm just going to hold this until it cools down, and I'm going to glue the other one on as well. Okay, so his little hands are glued to these pipe cleaners. Like I said, don't worry about, the lantern being so heavy that it's going to, weigh his hands down, because this is going to be wired to the form, okay? I know that these are heavy. Dollar Tree does have the little plastic ones, but you know what? I just didn't like the way they looked. I mean, they looked incredibly cheap, I mean, it's Dollar Tree. I know that, but still. So I am now cutting a piece of this floral wire. There we go. All right. Now this is the bottom to your little lantern. You can just squeeze these little handles and it just pops out, okay? So now what I want to do, remember I said I wanted the handle like facing this way. Let's see. I'm going to run this wire, Amber, run this wire through these two little stars here up top. If they'll go all the way through, I can see it. There it is. Okay, I'm going to run that wire there. And I'm also going to take another piece of wire and run it through this other top piece, because I really, really want to secure this down. Okay, so there's another piece of wire. So let's see where we're going with this. Okay, I can run it through right here, and I'm hoping it comes out the other end. There we go. All right, so now I have these two long pieces of wire in there. I'm going to place this down on top of my trees here. Why are you acting this way? And I'm going to wire it down. My snowman is wired. Okay, so just like this. And I don't want it on there so tightly that it, you know, it's kicking the bottom out like this. You know, just put it down there and be careful. And I'm just going to wire it straight down to the frame. So this is probably going to take me a minute. So let me work on that. So the lantern I have just wired just straight down to the trees. That's all I did. And it's not going to come off, okay? So now what I'm going to do is, you know, I really shouldn't have put that bow on when I did. Oh, something is stuck. I'm just going to take some hot glue and I'm just going to glue the tips of the mittens together. Can y'all see this? To make it look like he's holding on to the lantern. Okay, just like that. I'm going to hold that down. Now this bow is the bane of my existence. And you know what? I'm probably going to wind up trimming the tails off of this bow. Or at least making them shorter, because you see how they're hitting the thumbs there? I think I'm going to trim the tails just a little bit shorter. So I'm going to hold this here. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of breaks in this video, and I'm sorry, but you know, sometimes that is the way it is. So now we have the lantern hanging down here, and then we're going to have just a little bit of empty space up here above the head. And I have some greenery and stuff that I wanted to put up there. So all that stuff came from Walmart, and then we're going to put some lights on it. And I think it's going to look pretty darn good when I'm done with it. So is this stuck? Okay, so we got that. Okay, yeah, we got that where we want it. So yeah, I think I'm going to take the bow off and I'm going to trim the tails down a little bit. I think that's what I'm going to do with it. But let me see here. I'm going to get the greenery. And then we can get it fastened on. All right, so I got these at Walmart. All these little things with the berries and the pine cones. 98 cents each. Not bad, right? Okay, and then what we're going to do is just put these wherever I can find a place to put them and just use the floral wire and wire them in. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's looking good. I'm probably going to put a little bit more glue on there to hold the mittens down, but yeah, it's coming along. I'm going to have to move some things. You know, just make a few little tweaks here and there, you know, glue some things here and there, you know, hold everything in place, but it is coming along. But let's take this bow off and trim the tails down, okay? And then I'm going to get some of the greenery out, and I'm going to have to move my chair because I'm going to have to stand up so I can look straight down at it, you know, I get a better idea of what I'm doing. And then we will try to finish it up. Alrighty. So I know that's looking kind of raggedy right now, but once we get everything in place, I promise you it's going to look so much better. All right, I got my chair out of the way now. With these, I have so many of these because I want to put them on a wreath. A different wreath than this. Anyway, I'm just going to take floral wire and just wire them onto the actual frame. So let's see. This pine cone here, I'm just going to take this wire. I'm just going to kind of run it down around that pine cone right there. You know, just to give it something to grip onto so it doesn't, you know, just slide off the end. And then I'm going to twist this. I did trim the tails of that bow down a little bit. I like it a lot better now. All right, so now that we have our wire, and this is tricky because this is green and this is green, everything's green. I'm just going to kind of stick it down into the swag just like that, and then I'm going to wire it down to the center. Okay. So let's take this piece off. Let's get another piece of wire and go ahead and wrap it around this. So the main part of it is done. Where did my wire go? The main part of it is done. Now the rest of it is just, you know, decorating it however you see fit. So here's another one. I'm just going to run it down on that pine cone. Oh, there's a little branch. I'm going to run it down there, like I said, so that it has something to grip so it doesn't just slide right off the end. All right, and then we can put this one kind of like right assorted in there. No, you know what? Let's kind of get some of this out of the way because I want the pine cones to show. There we go. And then you just stick these wherever you want them, and then you just wire it to your main frame. Wire it to your main frame. So, just like that. Now, for the lights, I just have these battery-operated string lights. These came from Walmart. And this is wired. So, once I get all of my greenery put on, I'm going to take these lights, and I'm just going to weave it in and out, in and out, in and out. You know, so that they'll look good when I turn them on. And then once I get it hung up, I can put the battery-powered light in the bottom here. But anyway, I'm going to work on this greenery here, wiring everything all together. And then hopefully when I come back, it'll be the last time. Hold on. Okay, now we're making progress here. I just used 9 of these little doohickeys, sprigs, these things. I just used 9 of them. And like I said, I would just stuck them wherever I wanted them to be, wherever it needed to be fuller and have a bit more color. And then I just wired them to the trees, okay? So now we have our fairy lights. Now, these have 3 AA batteries, okay? It came from Walmart, and you put 3 AA batteries. They're fairly heavy. So, to fasten them, you can, I don't suggest hot gluing it to anything. Or you could take pipe cleaners and wrap around it, you know, a couple different directions. You can take floral wire and wrap it around it, you know, different ways to really secure it and then wire it to the back of the frame. I don't want to flip this over anymore, okay? Because I'm afraid I'm going to tear it all up. And this has actually taken me quite a while to put together. So I'm not going to be flipping it around. But with these lights, all I'm doing is I'm just going to, and you see these wires? They fasten around things very, very well. And I'm going to have to maneuver it and everywhere to get this done. But I'm just going to be taking these fairy lights and going in through the back and just wrapping it around these, wrapping it around the little limbs of the tree, you know, however I can get them fastened down. And then I'm going to take one of those battery-operated votive lights, put it in the bottom here, and then that's going to be it, okay? So I'm going to stop the video here for good. I will put a photo at the end of this video so that you can look at it again in its entirety. And of course, you always have photos on Instagram, Facebook, and all that. So if you would, please give this video a thumbs up. Click subscribe. Check me out on other forms of social media. The links to all of which will be in the description box down below. And I hope to see y'all next time. Bye.